Another week. Welcome back to Sling TSi. Well, still waiting for bits here and there, so I've done lots of sort of spread out stuff, nothing really sort of super visual as far as any progress, just little things, a little bit of wiring here and there as much as I could. Pretty much hit the wall on that now, waiting for some stuff to turn up. But let's have a look up the front here. So a battery did turn up. Glenn managed to find one of them, so I've put the battery cables in, and now I can turn it on with a temporary switch I've got wired over here, and you can hear it go click, woohoo. And the only other thing that powers up at the moment is the VPX, and I can tell that from the Ethernet light that's flashing. So that's a positive thing. And on the Ethernet front, cord plugged into the Ethernet port on the VPX, I can say connect using Ethernet. And one thing I had to figure out on the laptop is that it has to have the Wi-Fi turned off in order for this to work. That's okay. I'm not particularly au fait anymore with Windows computers, more of a Mac man myself. But anyway, here it is, and all the things that I've programmed, I've uploaded to the VPX, so that's all ready to go now. So that's as much as I can do, only because I don't have the connector kit for the VPX. I've just put a couple of temporary connectors in for the ground wire in order to make this work. But at least that's powered up, so I guess I can say it's alive, kinda. Other things, I've just temporarily put all this in here just to get things lined up. I really wanted to have the I don't know what you'd call it, the mount for the instrument panel and the glare shield sat in there. I was keen to kind of get the brackets on, but it seems I can't really do it because it moves up and down a little bit dependent on where the forward upper fuselage thingy, whatever it's called, goes in there. So sort of one before the other really. The main reason why I wanted that is because I wanted to be able to put the fuel selector in place. I think I'll be able to do that okay. So I'll just leave this here for now, even though it's only temporary. One of the things I have noticed that there is on this one here, there's a Rivnut in behind about here that doesn't line up with anything. And same on the other side. However, that lines up with something. That lines up with this Rivnut for this, and they interfere with each other. So that's a bit annoying, but so I had to drill that Rivnut out on that side in order to make it fit. And the one on here, well, I'll either drill a hole in here, but there's already a million screws in the thing, so I'll wait and see how that pans out. All the panels down here fit nicely, and the seat rail, but the seat rail holes I notice don't quite line up, so that's going to need a bit of tweaking. I'm not going to tweak this plate. The seat rail can have a tweak, but certainly not part of the upper spar bracket there. So anyway, that's just a little thing. Yeah, not a whole lot going on, but a couple of interesting bits with the electrical side of it anyway. I'm looking forward to being able to light it up a bit more than that, but I'm kind of hitting the limit on that just at the moment. But we have had a couple of interesting visitors from various places. One chap, I'll probably leave his name out only because I didn't ask him, is up to building Sling number 5, so locals probably know who he is, but that was an interesting one. We shared a few frustrations and a few ideas, so it's always fun. And I did actually mount our upper console thingy, whatever you'd call it, up here. I've got to sand all this back here. In retrospect, I probably could have made it just a little bit smaller, a little bit shallower. We are going to put the 2 lights mounted in here for the night lights, rather than having them back further. We're going to have the eyeball kind that mount up in here. So that was kind of why I kept it a little bit taller, but I think I probably could have knocked 10 millimeters off it. But anyway, it's in there now, and there's one of the switches mounted in there. So anyway, that's what it is at the moment. Hopefully Glenn doesn't hit his head on it. If not, I live a long way away, so there's nothing you can do about it. So another thing I'm just doing at the moment is If we look at this thing here, you can see I've drilled out some rivets already, but this normally sits like this, which when you're looking at lining up with this, even though this comes out on the angle, it kind of looks like it fits, but when you put the panel in as well, the bit that joins onto here is also considerably in. So what I'm trying to do is I'm going to shorten it to that line, so then it'll actually fit sort of more in line if I take this out. So it'll actually sit more in line with the actual thing that it's supposed to plug into. And that's the first step. And then because I've got to have the valve in here, I'm going to try and change how this lines up. Because this is, even though you can't see it in this angle, it's considerably higher than that. So the whole thing needs to be changed to suit how we're going to do it. So a little bit of playing around while we're just waiting for bits to turn up. Okay, another week's drawn to a close. Slow to start, but quite a bit going on now, so let's have a quick look around. Well, that's the America's Cup watching station. It's just about to be, or was supposed to be race 4, but that got postponed for the day because of light winds. So that sort of slows down the building process somewhat. All of the seats, we got some rivets. I asked for 400, I just plucked the figure out of thin air, and it was enough to finish the seats as it turned out, and that was all, so we need more. But anyway, all the seats and the components for the seats and seat rails and everything are sitting in the box, so we're going to send them off and get them powder coated. So they're ready to go. Over in the fuselage, I've been doing a little bit more wiring. Still waiting on a connector kit for the VPX. And so consequently there's quite a few wires just sitting there ready to go. Made a really basic start on the GEA, which is this fella here, the engine analyzer, and then the that guy there, the GAD29. All I've done is just put the CAN bus connector on there and some power wires to connect into the VPX when we get the connector kit for that. And the GAD27 we got, that's turned up, so I've made a very quiet start on that as well. What else has happened? I think I'd shown you that before, so that's sitting there. I've still got to put a little bit of glass inside it just to strengthen up the bond. Otherwise, that's good to go. I've been messing around with these things here, and I'm pretty happy with that, how that's turned out now. Oh, here's something. So the radio, we were going to have a second radio, GTR 20, and that was going to mount on here because it's kind of a flat mount kind of setup. But that's gone out of vogue now and you can't get them. Well, maybe you can as old stock, but Garmin aren't selling them as such. So the new one is the GTR 205XR, which sits in a rack like that because the non-R version, non-remote, would go in a panel. So that mounts differently. So I wasn't going to mount it down there. And of course, that's normally where the transponder sits. But because my mounts or my brackets, I had to change the design because the radio changed, I figured, what the heck, I'll put the radio over there. So it also changed how my CAN bus planning is going. But that's okay, that's cool. So that's now sitting over there and that'll be out of the way. We also got some 3/8 pipe. So I've started making some fuel lines that are going to sit down in here. Because all of this was already here, I couldn't really drop a line in that had a 90-degree bend in it. It's been a bit more of a challenge. I think what I should have done, and probably still might, is pull these brackets here out, just drill them out. It'll make things a little bit easier, but even still getting a 90-degree in there, I don't think I'll manage it. You never know. But what I've done at the moment is got it with a join in here for a 90-degree AN fitting. So that'll work. I do have plenty of pipe though, so if I change my mind, I can actually go for the full 90-degree fella, so that might work. One of the problems is, of course, which is kind of a bit of a shame of the design. I mean, it looks nice, but both the panel and the fuel selector rely on having the glare shield mount and everything in place in order to be able to plan half of this stuff. So it's, obviously this isn't designed to have solid fuel lines, so there's a bit more of a mission to sort of get all that set up. So we'll just see how that pans out. Other than that, temporarily got the fuel pump up there. And yeah, that's about it really. We've been watching the racing, that's been postponed. And up the front here, nothing new. So there you go, that's this week. Yeah, that's this week. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next week.